I'm Danny Valentine.
And I'm Reid Engwall.
We're here to talk to you about our film, Fishhook.
Fishhook is inspired by the real-world town of Whittier, Alaska, which exists almost entirely under the single roof of a 16-story apartment building.
For much of the winter, the residents of Fishhook are limited to living entirely inside the complex. Within the building, the town is mostly self-sufficient. There's a grocery store, a post office, even a church in the basement.
Like most of Alaska, the economy of Fishhook is based on fishing. For 3 months out of the year, a good portion of the population is gone on trolling voyages.
On one particular trip, the fishermen return infected with an intestinal parasite, the symptoms of which include increased aggression and insatiable hunger and libido.
The human body is disgusting.
Trapped in Fishhook, you can't escape the grotesque gluttony or its byproducts. And when you add depraved sexuality into the mix,
Sometimes simultaneously.
you get a really dire situation.
This is just the beginning of what the community of Fishhook has to deal with. The story surrounds the town's sheriff, Shannon Harris, and her son Bradley.
Shannon, a single mother from Anchorage, is widely considered an outsider. Her position is more or less ceremonial. But when the citizens of Fishhook have to deal with the consequences of isolation, starvation, and primitive violence, Shannon must presume a position of leadership. And as a woman, she must lend a sympathetic ear to those dealing with the infection on a personal level.
Bullied and rejected by the local Fishhookians, Bradley is forced to live in a world of his own imagination. To Bradley, the icy Alaskan wilderness is a foreign planet, and Fishhook is his derelict spaceship.
Set in the late 70s, the film opens with the return of the fishermen. Initially, only their close family members are affected. Reluctantly, they turn to Shannon, confused and frightened by the strange behaviors of their loved ones.
Initially, Shannon's able to keep the peace. With this new sense of purpose, she begins to feel at home in Fishhook for the first time. But as food supplies begin to dwindle and the infected become sexually and physically violent, it becomes a matter of survival.
In attempts to ration the remaining food supply, it sends the community into chaos as those infected devolve. Straying from their human nature, they resort to cannibalism.
Shannon must find a way to stop this and defend the town from the wave of barbarism in a brutal finale.
Like many other horror films, Fishhook tackles issues we feel are poignant to our generation. Themes of misogyny, hedonism, and excess are constant throughout, providing a mirror for the viewer.
I'm still hungry.
Me too.